Hi guys, I'm going to try this again. I came on a couple of minutes earlier, but did not turn off my notifications. So of course my video paused and ended earlier. So my name is Kami. Yes, I just saw that big thing go across my screen. My name is Kami and I am a psychic medium and channel. And today I wanted to come on and talk to you about what a channel is. Hi Jessie, hi Ashley. What a channel is, what it means to channel, like how that looks, and what that means for you in a session. Hey, ladies. So what is a channel? You guys have heard me say many, many times that I am a psychic medium and channel, but let's get really clear about what a channel is, okay? Channeling is the process of entering a trance-like state in order to allow higher beings to communicate through you. Okay, it's important that we have an emphasis on the through you. Psychics and mediums allow higher beings to communicate with them. Okay, so there's a big difference there. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Jessie. Hey, Sarah. So trance channeling is a very, very special form of connection with spirit. And trance channeling is where and how I have or get the majority of my information is through this trance channeling. Okay, so again, it's a very special form of spiritualism, excuse me. It's a very special ways of connecting with spirit. So how does this work? What is it? So trance channels, again, this is what I do. Trance channels sort of place their own awareness and consciousness in the background to allow a spirit or a non-physical being to communicate through them. Again, very important, through them. The difference with psychic and mediums, which I'm also, but a psychic and medium hears a message and then relates it to you. I don't do that. I just let spirit talk directly to you when I'm channeling, okay? So again, psychics or mediums, their messages are imparted by a individual who is fully conscious and aware. A channel is not necessarily conscious and not necessarily aware. Again, a channel goes into a deep sleep-like state or trance and retains very little of the sessions. So you guys will often hear me, when we have our second, third, fourth, fifth session, and you'll say, hey, do you remember? And I'll say, hey, I don't. And that is because when I'm in this trance space and I'm channeling, again, allowing spirit to talk through me to you, I have stepped aside. I don't remember our sessions, okay? It's because I get in a very, like I said, trance-like altered state of consciousness, okay? So trance channelers usually receive their messages from highly evolved beings. As you guys know, I've talked about Michael many, many times, or spiritual teachers, again, Michael. The information that's usually conveyed in a channel versus a psychic reading, again, these channel messages are generally very spiritual. They contain advanced knowledge for the collective of humanity that we have now. It's quite different. Again, using my psychic abilities, I kind of listen, see, and feel and tell you what I interpret. Using my channeling abilities, I don't listen, see, or feel anything. I just step aside and let spirit tell you what you need to know, okay? It's important to note that during these trances, I am not being possessed or controlled. It's more like a harmonious space sharing that I do with higher beings. I just kind of share my physical space so that they can come through to you, okay? So how does it work? Well, I literally sit in a trance. I have learned over the years to slow my heart rate, to slow my breathing, and to go deeper into consciousness and just to step aside, okay? And so I open myself up to messages through trance. It's kind of like being a radio for me. Once I'm in trance, it's kind of like being a radio for me where I can tune it to a station and allow whatever the messenger on the other side is to come out of me. So I am like a radio for higher beings. Hi, guys. And so part of the process that I used to have was I would tune in the radio for you and I would sit and write out the messages that came through. Okay, so I would use automatic writing, again, sharing my space to have an unfiltered message from Spirit straight to you. I would use automatic writing. It's been very recently, in the last couple of weeks, that Spirit has directed me to dictation. So what's happening now is I sit in a trance space. I turn on a software that records my voice and turns it into written words, okay? So you'll notice in a couple of the readings that I have posted right now, such as the 1, 2, 3 question, or the 2020 reading that I'm doing, that those are channeled messages. There is no phone call that comes with me because I, again, have placed myself into a trance state, tuned the radio, turned on the dictation software, and have allowed Spirit to speak directly to you unfiltered through any human being. They're actually, in my opinion, these channeled sessions, I find them to be more valuable. Again, they're very high level knowledge, they're very heart-centered knowledge, and they're unfiltered. So that's kind of how it works, is that I allow Spirit to use me as a radio. I turn on a dictation software and I just let them talk to you. And that's how a lot of these sessions are handled now, is there isn't really a phone call. There is with some of them, but there isn't really a phone call with them. I just tune in and let them talk. So again, my role is the radio. And like I just said, you'll notice that I have a couple sessions now that are channels only, no phone call. It's very important that you read the fine print when you're booking. No phone call means exactly that. There's no call. It is just me being the radio and letting your guides talk directly to you with unfiltered information that you need to know, okay? So let me kind of back up here and see if we have any questions. Anybody any questions about what it's like to be a channel? Where do I go when I'm in trance, right? Where do I go? Anything like that, please post them. Again, I wanted to have a very good informational session with you guys about what it's like to be a channel and why those channeled sessions without a phone call are so valuable and so important, guys. They're so unfiltered from your team. So, hey, Jesse. Amanda, hello. Sylvia, hello. Hey, Sarah Ryan. Hi, Lorma. Hi, Daniel. Hey, Tanji. Hey, Belle. Jessie says that's amazing. Hey, Angela. You know what, Jessie? It is amazing. It's something that I've been sort of working up towards since I was a child. I remember having a similar experience that I've talked about before, where I have just literally been the radio. I think I've shared with you guys when I was probably 10 or so. Jessie says, how long is the session? So there's really not like a session with it, Jessie. So these channeled messages, so if you've done the 1, 2, 3 questions, they're over Messenger only. You send your questions, or I go ahead, like in the case of the 2020 session, I have questions and subjects typed out for them, right? So you send your questions, or I have topics. I sit in channel, and however long the message is from them to you is however long the message is. I don't want to stop it or interrupt it. Again, these are very high level messages, and I wouldn't want to, for you guys to miss out on anything important that your guides have. So again, a channeled session isn't a timed session. It is a information gathering session, and when that information is gathered, we are done. So remember, there's no phone call when I'm channeling. Amanda says, can anyone do this, or do you have to have the gift? I think, Amanda, that everyone has the gift. I think that we are conditioned. Well, let me back up. I think we have various gifts too. I think that we are conditioned to let those gifts sort of slip aside and to disregard the information that comes from our higher selves and that connection that we have. So I do think that anybody is capable of receiving messages from Spirit. Yeah. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Vicky. Jessie says, okay, well, I love that. Yeah, I really think, guys, that these channeled messages are so valuable. I think that they're precious and priceless. I don't think you can, put a thing on there. Jessie says, if you've had a hard time with me in the past, with someone coming through, would this be more powerful? Yes. So, yeah, that's a great question. So Jessie's talking about mediumship. Absolutely, I can channel those that have passed, your loved ones. and it is more powerful. And here's why, guys. When I'm working in a session with you and we're on the phone, I have to pause my vibration to listen to what they say and then to translate it to you. When we're doing just channeled work and we're not on the phone and I'm just letting them talk, there's no pause and there's no filter. So is it easier to pull in a loved one? Absolutely. If they're willing to come through and to be channeled, it absolutely is easier for me and for them and more powerful for all three of us involved in this session. Absolutely. Okay, guys, any other questions around what a channel is, how it works, and what these channeled only messages, again, the 1, 2, 3 questions or the 2020 reading that I'm doing, what these channeled only messages have. Hey, Kelsey. Kelsey asked if her grandmother has tried coming through. Girl, I have to be honest with you. People talk to me all the time. Unless somebody specifically says I'm Kelsey's grandmother, I wouldn't know. People talk to me all the time. I do try to have some quiet and peace outside of my work hours. Otherwise, I am constantly inundated by spirit, by guides, by Michael, by your loved ones talking. So maybe she's probably tried to talk to me, but I haven't. I'm just not available outside of the session hours. I have to for my own sanity. Angela says, you're amazing. Your teaching how to channel is so powerful. Thank you, Angela. Jessie says, okay, I want to book. I will message you. Thanks, Jessie. Do the 2020 reading, guys. I'm telling you, it is powerful. They have been really specific too. Like, hey, you're going to fall and scrape your knee, or hey, look for this. They are being really specific in these channels, which is fantastic. Kelsey says, that's amazing because I'm seeing her in my dreams a lot with me. Wow. Kelsey, I wonder if, so there's a process that I've noticed that happens with loved ones that sometimes they will tandem off another person's energy. So sometimes, Kelsey and everybody listening, I will see my sister coming forward and she will bring with her one of your loved ones that isn't quite powerful enough to come through and talk. And they will borrow my sister's energy in order to come through. So thanks for sharing that, Kelsey. I haven't seen your grandmother that I know of, but how wonderful that in my dreams I must be helping her do some work, and you. That's wonderful. Angela says, how do you know it's channeling versus your own mind? I personally know it's channeling because they use really different words than I do. They will use very formal language, big words. Sometimes I have to go look up their words to see what they mean afterwards because I don't know. So I know that it's channeling because it's just a totally different vibe than my normal personality. In my psychic readings and my medium work, you'll get my personality in there. In channeling, you wouldn't even know it's me. It's just a totally different party using bigger words, bigger languages, talking about spiritual stuff. So, hi, Ezekiel. Angela says, so on point. Awesome. Thank you. All right, guys. Any other questions today on what it is to be a channel, what it is to receive a channeled message, anything like that before we kind of close up today? I hope this has been very helpful for you guys so that you understand how I work. I know sometimes there's a lot of questions around the channeled only readings. And so I'm hoping this helps you to understand that they are so precious and so valuable. Hey, Steph, we were talking today about what it means to be a channel, certainly versus a psychic and a medium. So any more questions? I'm going to kind of linger around for a minute or so. Anybody else has any other questions? Carrie says, wonderful information. Oh, I'm glad. Like I said, I've had some questions lately about what it means, and I thought that it was time to come on and do a video. So, okay, guys. Steph says, replay, very good. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead. Angela says, how long do you meditate before your channel? Angela, so for me, back in the day when I first really started working on this, I would sit in meditation for an hour before channeling. Now I'm in a space where I recognize what I need to do as a being, which is to step aside. I recognize what state I need to put my body in, and I can get into a trance channeled space in a minute, maybe two. It's just a matter of recognizing what you need to do. Nishia says, are channels only auditory or can they be visual too? Nishia, great question. I do get a lot of information visually. So yes, they certainly can be. And back in the day when I was doing the automatic writing for my channels, they were a lot of visual things, and I would kind of write down what I was being shown. But like I said earlier, now that I'm being guided to use a dictation software, they're not even auditory. I don't even hear or see things. It just comes out of my mouth and gets recorded. It's really awesome. All right, guys. So thank you for joining me today and listening. I appreciate all of you. I hope that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you for the sweet birthday wishes. I felt your love in every one of your wishes. Check out that 2020 channeled session that I'm doing. We talk about finances, career, romance, relationships, health, and any special messages from your guides. Check that out. I'm going to be offering that for the next 8 weeks or so as we move into that powerful 2020 energy. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week, and I'll be seeing you. Lots of love.